She got kneed, knocked down, and the refs said nothing. Caitlin Clark is done staying quiet. A knee to the quad. A body crashing to the hardwood in front of her own fans. A referee standing 3 feet away who saw the whole thing and blew nothing. And this time, Caitlin Clark didn't bite her tongue. What she screamed in that official's face and what her own head coach said about it afterward is why the entire WNBA is talking about this game days later. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why so many people think the league has a real problem on its hands. Before we get into it, if you're new here, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because we're covering every twist in this story as it develops, and trust me, this one is far from over. Now let's break down exactly what happened on July 15, 2026, at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and why it sparked one of the loudest officiating controversies of the season. The play that started it all. It's the second quarter. Indiana Fever against the Golden State Valkyries, the WNBA's hottest team, riding an active winning streak into Indianapolis. Caitlin Clark drives to the rim on her own. No help, just her against the defense. Golden State center Kiah Stokes steps in to contest. Clark releases the shot, the ball drops through the net, and then her leg buckles. Stokes' knee connects flush with Clark's quad, and Clark goes down hard, sliding toward the stanchion. She gets up limping. No whistle, no foul, nothing. Clark plays through it, finishes the possession, and jogs back on defense, clearly favoring that leg. But it's what happens next that turns this from a routine no-call into a story the entire league is still buzzing about. Clark goes straight to the nearest official, and she does not hold back. Cameras catch her yelling, "Give me a call! I got fouled 5 times." She's furious, pointing at her leg, making it clear this isn't the first missed call of the night. It's just the one that finally broke her patience. When she gets to the bench, she asks the referee directly what happened on that play. The answer she gets back: the official ruled that Clark initiated the contact herself. Clark's response, delivered flatly to reporters after the game, is worth hearing in full. "That hurts. Like the ref can't miss that. And then I have to play with a contusion in my leg the rest of the game. It's ridiculous. You can't hit me in the leg and knock me over." Officials issued her a warning for the outburst, not a technical foul. A warning for a player who had just absorbed a knee to the leg that, by her own account, altered how she could move for the rest of the night. Why this isn't just another missed call? Here's the thing you need to understand if you haven't been following the Fever's season closely. This is not an isolated incident, and it's not happening in a vacuum. Clark spent almost all of 2025 fighting through injuries, 2 separate quad contusions among them, and ended up appearing in only a fraction of Indiana's games that year. Anyone who watched that season knows exactly what those 2 words, quad contusion, mean for this player specifically. It means missed games. It means watching from the bench in street clothes. It means a team that built its whole identity around her having to figure out how to survive without her. So when Clark takes a knee to that exact same area again in 2026, on a play that dozens of replays make look like a clear and obvious foul, the reaction isn't really about one missed whistle. It's about a pattern. Just weeks earlier, in a game against the Phoenix Mercury, Clark was on the receiving end of a hit to the throat from Phoenix forward Alyssa Thomas that also went uncalled in real time. The WNBA reviewed that play after the fact and issued Thomas a suspension, but only after the damage, both physical and to the league's credibility, had already been done. Retroactive punishment doesn't undo a missed call in the moment. It doesn't protect a player's body while the game is actually being played. Clark has also come back from a back injury this season, one that forced her to miss multiple games and return under a strict minutes restriction. She played 26 minutes in this game against Golden State, well beyond that restriction, gritting through a leg that had just absorbed a direct hit, and finished with 13 points, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, shooting 4 for 14 from the field. Not her best shooting night, largely because Golden State's defense, the league's top-ranked unit, swallowed Indiana whole for large stretches. But the numbers tell only part of the story. What stands out isn't the box score. It's that she kept playing at all. If you're finding this breakdown useful, now's a great time to hit that subscribe button, because we're about to get into the reaction from Clark's own head coach, and it's not what you'd expect from someone supposedly protecting their franchise player. The coach's response that left fans stunned. After the game, reporters press Fever head coach Stephanie White on the non-call. She confirms she'd already gotten the same explanation Clark received. That Clark, not Stokes, initiated the contact. And then White says something that ends up generating almost as much conversation as the play itself. They said Caitlin initiated the contact. That's all they said, White tells reporters. Then, with what multiple outlets describe as a noticeably sarcastic edge, she adds, "She seems to always be initiating the contact." When a follow-up question presses her further on the officiating, White cuts it off. "I'm trying to not get fined," she says. "Again, all I'll say is that we just keep asking for consistency. That's it." That's the entirety of her response to her franchise player getting kneed in the leg on her own home floor. Now, to be fair to White, WNBA coaches can be fined for public criticism of officiating, and she clearly knew she was walking a tightrope. But here's what makes this moment sting for a lot of fans. This is the same Stephanie White who, just weeks earlier, stood at a podium and repeatedly called a different missed call on Clark absolutely unacceptable, using that exact phrase multiple times in a single press conference when discussing the uncalled hit from Alyssa Thomas. She didn't hold back then. She used strong, direct language over and over because that non-call was undeniable and the moment demanded it. But this time, a sarcastic aside about her own star always initiating contact, and then a quick pivot to avoid a fine. To plenty of viewers, that reads less like protecting your best player and more like distancing yourself from an uncomfortable conversation. And here's the detail that really drives the contrast home. Clark herself was more direct about what happened to her own body than her coach was. No hedging, no sarcasm, no concern about fines. Just a flat, honest account of getting kneed in the leg and having to play through it. The player was more willing to say what needed to be said than the coach standing at the podium representing her. If a coach won't fully back her star on a play this obvious, who does that leave to hold the officials accountable? That question is exactly why this story has legs well beyond one game, and we're just getting started, so stick around, because the next section covers the technical foul situation that could actually threaten Clark's availability down the stretch. The bigger picture, technicals, schedule, and what's at stake. Let's talk numbers, because this is where things get genuinely concerning for Fever fans. Clark picked up a warning on this play instead of a technical foul, and league insiders and fans alike have pointed out that the warning itself is telling. If officials truly believed her reaction was unwarranted, a technical would have been the standard response. Instead, she got a pass, which many read as a quiet acknowledgement that the call, or lack of one, was blown. But warnings only go so far. Clark is walking a real tightrope with her technical foul total this season, and every heated interaction with officials chips away at that margin. Reach the league threshold and an automatic suspension follows. That means every frustrated outburst, even fully justified ones like this, carries real risk, on top of the physical risk she's already absorbing on the floor. And the timing here could not be worse. Right after this loss to Golden State, the Fever were staring down a brutal back-to-back. The Seattle Storm and the New York Liberty in consecutive games, with Clark still nursing both a fresh quad contusion and a back injury she'd only recently returned from. When reporters asked her before the Golden State game about her status for that stretch, she admitted she genuinely wasn't sure what her availability would look like. A team that has already learned the hard way what a Caitlin Clark absence does to its season was suddenly bracing for it to happen again, over a play that should have been called correctly the first time. This loss also had standings implications. It dropped Indiana to 14-10 on the season, pulling them into a first-place tie in the Eastern Conference, while Golden State improved to 18-7 and extended their winning streak to 8 straight games. One of the most dominant runs by any team in the league this year. Every possession matters in a race that tight, and a missed call in the second quarter can be the difference between a game that stays competitive and one that slips away in the fourth, which is exactly what happened. Indiana actually clawed back to take the lead in the third quarter, fueled in part by a highlight reel Clark assist that had the entire arena on its feet. A steal, a missed three, her own offensive rebound, and a no-look, behind-the-back pass for a teammate's three-pointer. That's the kind of play that reminds everyone why this Fever team has become appointment viewing whenever they take the floor. But Golden State answered with a decisive run late in the third and pulled away for good, closing it out 88-75. Golden State's Gabby Williams led all scorers with 16 points, and reserve guard Caitlin Chon added 14, with both players doing most of their damage in the second half. The league-wide conversation this has sparked. Zoom out, and this single non-call is really just the latest data point in a much bigger conversation that's been building around the WNBA all season. How the league's most marketable, most watched player is officiated compared to everyone else on the floor. Some analysts argue Clark absorbs a level of physicality that simply doesn't get called the same way for other players, pointing to the pattern of contact she's taken across multiple games this year. The throat-level hit from Alyssa Thomas, repeated hard fouls, and now this knee to the quad, as evidence that opposing defenses know they can push the line against her without consequence. Others push back, arguing that superstar treatment and physical, competitive defense have always gone hand in hand across basketball history, and that the attention on Clark specifically has more to do with her massive platform than any real officiating bias. It's a genuinely contested debate, and reasonable people who watch this league closely land on different sides of it. What isn't up for debate is the raw physical toll. Clark has publicly and repeatedly voiced frustration, not just about this one play, but about a season defined by injury, physical punishment, and, in her own words in previous interviews this year, an unusual level of hostility directed her way both on the floor and off it. Whatever your take on the officiating debate itself, the pattern of Clark taking hard, uncalled contact, and then having to play through the physical consequences is not up for interpretation. It's right there on video, game after game. So here's where we land. Caitlin Clark took a knee to a body part that already cost her most of an entire season. The referee standing right there missed it. Her own coach responded with sarcasm instead of a full-throated defense. And Clark, banged up, frustrated, and running out of patience, said exactly what she was thinking directly to the official's face. Knowing full well it could cost her a technical foul she desperately can't afford. That's not a player being dramatic. That's a competitor who has spent over a season absorbing hits that don't get called, finally reaching her breaking point in front of her own home crowd. The real question now is what happens next. Does the league quietly adjust how these plays get officiated going forward? Does Stephanie White find a way to back her star player more forcefully without risking a fine? And can Clark's body hold up through a brutal stretch of the schedule if these no-calls keep piling up? We'll be tracking every one of those threads as the season moves forward, so if you don't want to miss the next update in the story, make sure you're subscribed and you've got notifications turned on. And before you go, drop your take in the comments. Was that a foul that should have been called every single time? Is Stephanie White's response the right call given the fine risk? Or should she have gone further to protect her star? Let us know below, like this video if you want to see more breakdowns like this one, and we'll see you in the next video.